Alright, today we're going to be going over how to default on Canals. And if you haven't watched my how to default on Bureau, go ahead and check that out. And if you haven't watched my how to default in Critical Ops video, I suggest you watch that first before watching any of these videos so that we have an idea on what we're doing today. So I'm going to timestamp it in the description down below. As always, we're going to start with the nades that you need to throw and why you need to throw these specific nades. And also, we're going to be showing you how to set up your defaults so that way you know where to go for each default. So to kick things off, I just like to start with the map layout, something I didn't do in the last video. And I think there's something interesting to say about this map. Even though mid looks like it is completely open, the timings are set up so that way as the breach are crossing T-Bridge here, Coalition is swinging from B site right here. Same thing for the Coalition player coming from bottom cat right here. He sees the bridge here, but the breach are already over here or right here, depending on how he peeks this. Now, I will say, even though the timings are set up almost perfectly, thank you devs, there are some crossfire angles that you need to watch out for. And they are very long crossfire angles, like this one on B site going all the way to A long there, a 60-meter shot. And then you also have this CT angle right here that's almost the same distance as the B site angle. So knowing about these two angles here, how are we going to default on this map? Well, it's simple. We need to lure these players away from their positions in hopes to get better control of mid as the breach. Because the Coalition already has access to the sites immediately, but the breach can have access to mid almost immediately as the Coalition. Enough about that. Let's get into the nades. So this is going to be the cafe, smoke, and flash. Now, as the breach is running out, this player is going to run and throw the flash out like this. They just need to be running parallel to this spot right here. Look above these brick towers here and just throw the flash. Doesn't matter where it lands as long as it lands under the bridge, because we are accounting for a player pushing from bottom cat. And then as they're running, after they throw the flash, they're going to stand in between these two posts here. Look at this lamp right there, and they're going to look up in between these two window ledges, and they're going to jump throw the smoke. Now what this smoke is going to do is it's going to block this part of cafe and force the cafe player to push out from cafe to get a better angle onto tunnels. So this player right here is going to be responsible for holding the bottom mid rotates. So anyone coming from cafe through boat up these stairs, anyone coming from bottom cat right here from CT. He's going to hold this angle just to funnel everyone down into a singular angle. They could be coming from the right or from the left. It's good to have a nice centralized crosshair position here so you can easily flick and reposition if you need to. And again, super simple flash, but a complex smoke grenade to follow it up with, just like this. I missed the smoke. The smoke should land something like this. Something that, if you do need to push out immediately, you can push out, focus this right here, and then you can push up to here. All right, now it's time for probably one of my favorite smokes, the Crossfire Car Smoke. Probably don't know what that means, but one player is going to be wedging himself into this corner and turning around, and then he's going to look at the middle windows right on the black line, and then they're going to look straight up until they get to the third peg on the left side. Then they're going to run until they hear the first step, or until the wall on the left side here goes away from their vision, like this. As you can see, the smoke landed right on top of the car. It completely smokes out mid here, and it also, interestingly, smokes out this angle on the Coalition side, so they can't see this angle here. And then finally, we have the A mid smoke, and all that is just running, throwing the smoke right here, and then once you throw that smoke, you're going to push up to right here. Now, one thing I want to make a note of is that you are visible to that B site angle, watching that A mid angle right there. So if I were a betting man, I would say instead of running all the way around all three stairs, you come up to this stair, jump on the stairs and jump over. That way you're sitting right here waiting for these guys to push out. Because odds are, once someone's going to throw a flash, they're going to throw it right about in this area to try and get it to pop early. You're going to be sitting right here. You're going to hear the flash go off. You're going to turn around, see the push out like an idiot, and you're going to just hit them from behind like surprise. All right, and those are all the nades that you need to know how to throw to default on canals. Now let's get into setting up each default. So first, I would like to point out that all of your nades need to be thrown from the right side. This is going to be a problem when defaulting to the left side, but I think these setups are going to work fairly well. Now to default mid, you're going to want 2 players going towards B site, 3 players going towards A site, with 1 player pushing tunnels. So the 2 players going B site, 1 player is going to walk up to this spot and hold this angle right here in case any coalition tries to push out. This player right here is going to first check this angle and then going to check this mid angle. If he doesn't see anybody here, then he's going to check here. Now you're probably thinking, but what about the CT player? Relax, we have a smoke for that. And plus, this player needs to wait for that smoke to pop before he tries to swing, because he will be exposed from that CT angle all the way over there if he tries to swing before the smoke pops. Then you'll have your tunnels player. He's going to throw his flash over like this, and he's going to swing here, pop this smoke, and he's going to take up this angle right here. All right, then you'll have your A mid smoke player throwing this smoke, and then he's going to come and sit right here as before, and then you'll have your Crossfire Car Smoke player throwing his smoke, setting it up like before. God, I love that smoke. It is so easy to use. And once this player throws the Crossfire Car Smoke, he's going to wrap here, and he's going to hold this position right here. This is just in case, you know, any players try coming from A long and they try to swing out here. And also if there's any A mid players trying to swing out on this guy here, which this A mid player is going to be taking care of these guys here. This player will be here to set up the crossfire between these 2 entrances here. Now this mid default, we're going to have a 3-prong attack. So we're going to be attacking top cat, we're going to be attacking tunnels, and we're going to be attacking mid bridge here, just to be able to get that extra mid control, so that way we have control of mid right from the get-go, which is the whole idea for the breach on this map. All right, now it's time for B site default. I think it's a good idea to get this out of the way so that way we know how to set it up. So we're going to have 2 going towards B long again, and then we're going to have 3 going towards A again. But instead of the B site player pushing up to here, he's actually going to hold back and hold this car angle right here. Then the other B site player is going to hold this angle right here. He'll be sitting in this corner watching for this player to push out, and he'll also be here watching for this player to push. Now, you don't want to be sitting in this corner because you're going to end up having to flick back and forth in case, you know, this player does go down and they are pincering this angle right here. So you'll be able to handle a player pushing this and this angle at the same time. But that's only if this player goes down immediately. Now, the tunnels player, he's going to do the same thing as he always does. Throw this flashbang. You throw this smoke here. And he's going to post up here. Now, because there is no mid player, he does run the risk of getting spotted from bridge, which he won't be able to see. So you might need to play back here a little bit if that is the case. And then A side is just the same as before. You're going to have your A mid player through this smoke. And then he's going to push around here, getting to this angle. And then same as before, you're going to have this mid car smoke. And then once that lands, he's going to post up right here. But this time, we don't have all 3 mid players going in mid. We just have 2 going B site, 1 holding the bottom rotation, 1 holding the top rotation in A mid, and you got 1 holding the crossfire right here. And lastly, we have the A site default, which we're going to have 1 player B long and 4 players on A side. Now, for the B long player, I suggest taking up this angle right by car. That way, you're able to hold the players pushing from B site and also players pushing from top cat or cafe, whichever side they decide to push. And then you got your tunnels player again, throwing this smoke and flash. And he's going to be holding right here. Because he doesn't have that top player pushing up, he's going to hold back. Then you have your A mid smoke player. He's going to throw this smoke, push through. And he's going to hold this angle right here. Alright, then your Crossfire Car Smoke player is going to throw his same smoke as he has before. And then he's going to go and hold this angle as well. And then the last player for A site is going to be holding this angle right here, waiting for any coalition players trying to sneak on through this elbow angle here. And he's going to be able to deal with them from here. Now, something that I know a lot of you have questions about, and that is visibility on this map. I know there are a lot of long angles that you can hardly see, like this angle between the trees is very hard to see, especially for the breach. But if you play these right, you shouldn't have too many long angles to contest with. All right, and that is how you default on canals. And by following the nades that are provided in this video, along with how to set up these defaults that are shown in this video, you and your team should be winning more rounds as the breach on canals. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay safe. Bye-bye.